There we are, folks, working on the 2014 Chevrolet Tahoe. It's one we previously did some rear suspension video on. Put a new air compressor and stuff in it. That seemed to go good. We got to do the ball joints on this side. Looks like it has a new wheel bearing. Shiny anyways. So, we're going to peel the wheel off. And then we have to do the upper control arm and the lower ball joint. At least that's the plan anyways. So we've got to get all this stuff off. I see we have the little suspension arm that hooks on here, so we have to be careful with it. It goes onto this bracket with the brake hose. So we need to be a little cautious there. We just did a video on this little guy. I don't know if you have to take the strut out of these to get the bolts out. Quite possibly. These bolts have a tendency to break around here. They seize up and they snap off. I did get new bolts. I got new control arms and a new lower ball joint. I believe that the strut does need to come out. I don't think this bolt back there will come out. I don't believe this one will though. We'll see. We'll get stuff cracked loose and start taking things apart here and figure stuff out. Let's just hose everything with some Panther Pea first. Or some liquid courage. Just full saturate everything. Just get it all. But we're going to be unhooking everything. $19 millimeters. We're going to peel the caliper separate from the bracket. Which typically I don't do, but in this case I'm going to. You'll see why in a moment. I'm just going to set it up here. We are going to go ahead and get this bracket off. I grabbed this in 18 for that. I don't know what I don't know. How profound. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if this gun's going to have enough juice in it. Apparently it does. So that's good. I'm going to set the whole little bracket here right to the side. Switch doggies. We'll go back to the 3/8 10 mil. And we're just going to want to snap this bolt off right here. She'll probably break clean off. Or come clean out because we put some Panther Pea on it. Okay. That has our bracket for our leveler action here in the front. My hope and my dream is to hang the caliper here to the side and just leave this little mess alone. You start messing with this, it's going to break. 100% guaranteed. 50% of the time, every time. So let's go get a holder upper for our caliper and we'll get that held up out of the way. Prior to doing that though, let's take and just pop this ABS connector up out of here. Let's unplug it because we're gonna need to well, this dude straight up can't even finish a sentence today because I'm trying to think ahead a couple steps here to tell you what I'm talking about. We're gonna have to take the wheel bearing off, so we're gonna need this hanging free. We just don't like to backtrack too much if we can avoid it. Hook the hooky in here. Hook that right up there. Is that too much, fella? Is that too much for you? Let's get this to spin around. Let's spin around town. How's that now? Oh, now she's loosey-goosey. And we can still get in here to that bolt. And with a little bit of luck, we won't break this thing off. We could probably try to unthread it. All I know is you ever start fiddling with this crap, everything breaks. Welcome to the Rust Belt. There. Right here, T30, I think it is. Yeah, T30. Might need a little extension. Nope. That came right off nicely. Huh, wonder who did this little job. 36. We'll grab Thor. Ho ho ho! Ho ho, Mr. Thor. So we put freaking never sees all over everything. Ah, hate never sees. Well, we forgot to spritz this stuff down, so we'll give this stuff a little spritz there. We'll find some sockets, we'll bust off the tie rod. We're probably gonna use the wrench on the inside. Looks like 18 probably on the upper, 21 or so on the lower here. What do we got in our hands? What do we have here? We got a 22. So we need a 24 and a 21 and an 18. That was 21 mil. Whoa. Come on, Thor. Be nice. I know you want to play nice. There, that worked. And we're going to go 24. This little fella. What's he smoking? Had a little toasty there. We'll stick those back up there on the arm. We'll grab us an 18. We'll see if we can't crack this loose. But I got the right size. We did. Oh, you're not even that tight. We'll switch over to the ratchety wrench. These nylocks can be a huge pain to take off because they'll get down to like the last couple threads and it just jams up all the stuff in front of it. Oh, this one's not too bad. That's why Thor was struggling with that lower one. Okay. What you want to do is keep that on there a couple threads. We're going to give this thing a little massage. Bringing out the dog. Special edition. Super big, super nasty. There's one. There's two. Ooh. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Alright, they're all broke free. Take off these earmuffs so I can quit yelling. That's one goes here. Okay, let me get something. That ain't going back on there, dude. You just whacked it with Big Nasty. Scared the pudding out of me. We're gonna slide it off the freaking grease. What was I gonna say? We're gonna slide it off the CV axle and then take the whole knuckle off. Knucklehead. Okie dokie. He's an artichoke. Now what are you gonna do, fella? Maybe, I'm thinking, this light is so bright it's annoying. There, darkness. I wonder if we just loosen up the bottom of the strut, if we can slide her out enough to get the upper off, but let's have a little look-see at this lower. I gotta do something about this never sees. Probably should just unbolt this axle and get it right out of my face. Be able to stick it over here. Make sure we're not pushing on that hose, disrupting anything. Of course, I wiped never sees on this ball joint. Let's just cover this up so we don't look like the Tin Man here in about 20 minutes. Okay, there's that. Let's see about this ball joint pressing it in and out. Let me get you in a better spot. Change my gloves because they're completely gray. Let's see what we can do. So how's about this? How about we snap these bolts off? Sometimes these things break off. But we put coil on them. So they just spin right out. They don't usually seize up into threads. It's in the arm, particularly on the aluminum ones, and then these things just boop. They go like that, boop, make that same sound. Because I'm thinking to do the lower, we got to get our ball joint press up here. Might be easier with the upper control arm out of the way. So we might attempt to do that little ordeal. Let's get that broke loose and see if we're going to end up taking this out all the way. She's never had a wheel alignment before, so it still has the factory plastic inserts in here. I didn't say the guy hasn't paid for a wheel alignment before, but it's at least never been adjusted anyways. 21. I always like that. Guy comes in with their Chevy truck and eating the front tires right off it. Of course, they've had, you know, multiple wheel alignments done, and they always have the plastic inserts in it. That's what tiger type. We're gonna get a different tool before somebody gets hurt. We did spray Croil on it, so it should come right off. I'm thinking she's just gonna snap off as usual. Go back this way with it. Oh, you're creaky, crunchy. That patching all works great. Let's give her some more. We'll reduce that side. You know how I know it's not gonna break? Because I bought brand new ones. Oh, the old Croil must have got to it now. But it might be stuck in the bushing too. Okay, that side's loose. Let's try this side over here. Nope, she's falling out over here. There's that one. This one was a lot easier. Playing with fire, buddy. Swivel on an impact at the same level as your teeth. She won't get you. Oh yeah, she sees right up in the bushings. Oh, that one moves a little bit. Let me try a little something there. I don't know if we can get all the way up in there with the dog. Maybe. Come up in behind the plastic. Oh, it's like a blast shield. I gotta get a little different arrangement here. You know it's about to go down. Eye protection, ear protection, and big nasty. Can't get on it straight. Don't have to when you bring out the dog. Got my glasses all fogged up. It's only had like a second. It's because I ate cake for lunch. I had some cake for dessert for lunch. It's got me all sweated up. Okay, let's get that other one out of there. Oh, you don't do real good with a regular hammer, buddy. Let's just try giving it a little what's up right here. Wow, that'll make you feel like a real puss. Alright, I thought I was hitting it. Let me get a punch, see if I can't hit it out the rest of the way, and then we'll see if we can get this one where we need to, but I think it's going to hit the spring. I'm pretty sure that one won't come out. Let's see if we can take this one the rest of the way. Almost. I thought this one was going to clear. Nope. Let's see if we can pop this strut forward a little bit. Thing is, you know, we don't need a lot. That might be enough right there. Let's just try that before we go yanking her out. Oh, that might be just enough. I mean, we're barely in there, just a little tiny bit. I'm just gonna give it a little tap. Oh, that was it, old son. That's that one. This side, I still don't know. We might still be wasting our time here. Let me rotate that one around. Get the cam to stay where we want it. Make sure she's loose in there, and it is. Just sticking it back through that bushing. I gotta get that cam to loosen up on there. So the inner cam, I'll show you. You know, it just sits on the bolt. And we need to get that to loosen up to, you know, to come in. So we're not trying to get this whole mess out. We're just trying to get the bolt out. You know what I'm saying? You will if you're doing one. I just feel like I've been here before. Wish I could give you guys the optimal angle to see, but I can't. Because I need to get up in here. Unfortunately. Come on, man. Just separate. You don't love that bolt, leave it. There we go. There we go. There you go, little guy. Come on. The shaft of the bolt's so rusty that it... Just trying to get that sucker to get up on me. There. Whoa, whoa, sorry, fellas. Just gave you the elbow. We got it. We didn't have to pull the strut out. If you live down south, just take the 3 nuts off the strut and pop it right out. Where did we leave off? I had to go out and check out the guy's Camaro. For some reason, there's a bunch of old cars pulled in. Camaro, a 39 Ford, the guy wants leaf springs in. Like, stepping back in time. 80s Camaro needs some pinion bearings. Come on. There, now we got room to get to the lower ball joint. Got a receiver cup. We'll go on the bottom of that. I think that'll work. We're going to use our Astro Tools ball joint kit. We'll give her some sort of lubrication on the forcing screw. Let's see if we can't just push it down through there. Looks like it's knurled on the, or peened over on the top. So we're probably going to have to push past the peens. We have here a 7/8 socket, or 22 mil, whatever you have. I don't like it. I just want to make sure that I think we might have been pushing against the actual ball joint. Yes, sir. We need to get a little bigger cup on the bottom. We'll try this Hadzi. It's got a big old flange on that ball joint. I thought we might have been pushing on it. I don't know if this is going to tend to stay straight enough. We'll find out, right? Let's see. Probably I should get a blast shield here. I'm going to dim my glasses. Well, let's just give it a little push first. That scared me. Helps when you're not pushing against the ball joint, right? And it didn't even blow up in our faces. So there's the OG ball joint. Oh, I should have showed you how she was loose before we pulled the knuckle off there. It's nice and clean on the inside. That's how we like them. We're going to be using the TTX Extreme Napa Train Tough Extreme. They're made by Avoca. As I mentioned in a previous video, the Avoca blue boot stuff is absolute garbage. I'm done selling it. I'm done selling Napa chassis parts because they're absolute freaking rubbish. And they're embarrassing. They embarrass you. You put a Napa chassis part on a customer's car, send them down the road with a Napa know-how, and then them suckers come back 3 months later for an oil change, and you're like, oh, hey, you know them ball joints and tie rod ends and everything we just put on? Well, they're all bad. Now who's the a-hole? You are. So I'm sick of looking like an idiot. So we are going, it has a hole in the boot right there, the little vent. We're going to mount that inboard, which is lined up with this TTX logo there. So we're just going to push her up straight in. Let me get the combination of things we need to push this in. These things are fantastic though. As we're bad-mouthing Avoca, they pull out all stops when it comes to the TTX line. Great stuff. Got the right combination of things. I'm thinking. Oh, the shaft's bent on. We bent the little plunger there when she hit the floor at Mach 90. Well, either that or when we had a ton of pressure on it. It's got a little wobble to her now. That's all right. The ball fell out of it and everything. Let's give this a little push. Push, push, push. That's all the way. I'm about to give up on life. That's how I get my squats in for the day. Not really squats, it's just the back bending over. So I just used a little shallow receiver cup right there. I used a installation adapter for a TTX ball joint from another kit in which I saved, and then put that adapter on this adapter. So they usually come with an installation tool. All sorts of like these. So when we put in a TTX ball joints, we save all these little adapters. So you never know if you're gonna need them unless you got doubles. What's up, old girl?
Is this okay?
4 Sparkies, some labor, and oil change. Yes, ma'am. You're doing a good job today.
Okay, so how are you? Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Miss O. Thank you. Thanks for appreciating me. We need to find our package. As I was saying, these usually come with an installation tool. This one didn't, unless somebody took it out of the box. No, because this is the only 2 things here, so yeah, I don't know. They come with really cool castle nuts and really neat cotter keys. Little rubber boot over the grease fitting. What? That's fun. Even though it is knurled and pressed in, we need to put the snap ring on it. So make sure she's up all the way. Let's go get a pair of snap ring pliers. I'll make darn tootin' she's in the groove. Yeah, groovy, baby. Yeah, we're in all the way. So, now that's in. Got the hole on the boot facing in there, the vent. That just keeps it from blasting grease out of that hole and hitting the brake rotor. It's the only reason I face them in. I don't know if you're supposed to or not. Some TTX ball joints, depending on the application, will actually have a mark on them. if they are, you know, if they only swivel one way, so to speak, they usually have some literature with it. So just before you just go shoving it in, make sure you know what you're doing or read the literature. I'm not gonna put the grease fitting in right now because we have to leave the CV axle down low, I think, to get that knuckle into the splines here, and I don't want it to hinder or whack and snap this off. Once we get this in on the knuckle, kind of get her up there, we'll reach in and put this baby in. But before we do that, we'll make sure that it's threaded correctly, and it is. So we should have no problem starting that by hand. Okay? Okay, good. It's a 7897 ball joint kit. Fantastic little kit. Gets you through just about everything. We're going to give a little spritz in the middle of these bushings too. So this is the TTX upper arm. Probably compare it to the arm we took off. Make sure she's going the right direction. Yeah, it looks like it is. We're going to slide this little guy in. Maybe we're not. We are, or we're not. Oh man, we're so close to this bushing, we just got to give it a little. We're so close, fella. Let me get a plastic hammer. I like hitting things with plastic hammers. It just makes you feel better. Oh, it's because this, snag. This bracket right here is bent in a little bit. We'll just open her up a little. Need something to take up the space there. This is sketch. There we go. There. Now we might be able to slip right in. This side might be bending a little bit too. There we go. There we go. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. And then what we have is we've got our brand new bolts here with brand new cams. However they go. They'll go one way or another. Like so. Okay? We arrange these, make sure everybody's the same, everybody is the same. We're gonna come on in if we can. The inner cam. Can't really see what I want to see. We want her to go all the way in. All the way in the slot. Maybe I can just tap it right where it's at. Let's see, reach in here with a screwdriver. We don't have to we just gotta barely get past the spring if we can. We'll get to a point where you're like, you should have took the 20 minutes to take the strut out. Well, we're not there yet, so we're just gonna keep going. Gosh, it's so stinking close. Oh, I think we're binding up on our cam. That's what the problem is. You stink pot. Excellent. Get the cam back. Push, push, push. There we go. That's awesome. Not that big a deal. And then we'll line that up on the pin. So there's these little pins here that stick out. You got to be careful. You bring your Chevrolet in for alignment. Guy starts frickin' reefing on those things. Snaps all the pins off. You can fix it, but if the guy works for you, slap him first. My guy Josh, he knows. Don't just go reefing on it, dude. All right, I just want to spritz that bolt down a little bit. Yeah, you go reefing on them, you shear the ears off, the whole thing turns into a big chabaco. So just slow down a little bit. Okay, there's that one. We'll get this nut. Back on there. Earth. Come on, fella. There's that one. We're gonna give her another little spritz in the hole. Again, we'll take this, line her up. Oops. So we're bound up on that cam again. So we gotta keep that cam back. What the heck? What the world? I thought this side was going to be easier. It's like right there. I just can't get enough oomph on it. There. Now we got some oomph. Line that up on the pin and that's it, folks. That's really all there is to it. Then put this outer cam on. Like so. Find the other nut. And that's it. Ta-da! Ta-da, surprise. And then what we should do to be smart, wonder if we should bolt that back down. Nah, probably not yet. We'll leave all this loose. We'll get our knuckle up in here. We'll put our shock back down where it needs to be. It needs to be right there. We'll get the bolts for it. You guys still see okay? Come a little closer. Come a little closer, baby. Nope, can't feel the hole, so I'm gonna give this strut a little push. Push, push, push. Ooh, there it is. Ooh. No denying that one. They lined right up nice. I think our 3/8 Ugga Duggy sits right here. Still has the socket on it that we need. Alright, perfect. Torque the spec and everything. Took all that time to never seize it and they missed this whole section. We're up a little up there for them for good luck. Okay, I'll go put this thing far away. But first we're going to take our ball joint and we're going to tip her out. We're going to line up our splines in the ball joint. We're going to kind of do everything all at the same time if we can. Put the nut on your ball joint. At least get her a couple threads on there. And that's it. Really easy. Bring this one over. Let's do that. Okay. Got your casting nut for that one. Slip that one in. Grab this little fella. And get this baby stationary before something bad happens. We avoided bad stuff so far. Clickety clack. Nope, nope, nope. There's that one. Everything's looking good. I mean, real good. Bring this little fella back around. Back around up here. Plug it up, as they say down south. Get her wiggled in there. That one clicked in there. I think we're doing a really good job, folks. Couldn't do it without you. Stick that back on there. A little bit of luck, we'll even remember to tighten everything up. There's that. We can leave the tie rod off. Can't tighten these up yet. We've got to give it a little first. That lined up now, I think. So I just had to help old Josh with alignment. He's got a car over there. We'll call it a car. That's wore the one front tire to the inside shoulder right clean off it. And it's pretty dang close to being on good for alignment. But the person who drives it is pretty hefty, we'll say full figured. So I had my guy Josh sit in it, and then I showed him what happened to the alignment. It went way off the chart. So the car's flexible enough that you put a few 200-300 pounds in the driver's front seat and your alignment's not even in the ballpark. So this vehicle will have to be lined up with lots and lots of weight in the front end or on the passenger driver's side. But it's just what you gotta do sometimes, folks. It'll surprise you too sometimes. You get a car on the lift and you know, alignment looks like, man, that's super close. And then you go size up the customer, the primary driver, and then compensate with that much weight in the front of it. You'll be really surprised how much more that will move. All right, so there's that. We'll leave that one in. Let's tighten up our lower one. It doesn't take much either. But yeah, you get a 300-400 pounder driving one, they can really throw the alignment way off. Let's see, where's our hole on that? Especially if it's a real flimsy, you know, lightweight vehicle. There we go. You know, you get a little Chevy Sonic or something like that, oof, they can be really difficult. But oh, where are we at? There we go. So there, our ball joints are in. They feel nice. No, not going to give us any memory steer. They're not overly tight. So that's good. Let's see about getting that grease fitting in there now. They always want to end pointing right at the knuckle. Of course. Yep. As soon as it gets tight and I can't push it past it, it's pointing literally right at the knuckle. Son of a mother. I wonder about this. I wonder if we take this out and we exchange it with the upper grease fitting to see if it's any different. So we'll take this one out. Hey, it's that guy. We'll take the top one out that we just put in. We'll see if that changes. Maybe where the thread starts on it is a little different. Maybe it's not. We can theorize about it all day, or we can just do it. Let's just see. Doesn't spin in as easily by hand as the other one did. It's not going in hard, it's just too hard to spin by hand. Are we coming up on the end yet? Oh, we are, look at that. I feel it getting tight anyways. Basically, it can point anywhere except directly at the knuckle, and I would be okay with it. If we can get her just to face forward here just a bit more, that would be super awesome. All right, I think that's as hard as I want to push it. Now I say that, now we're gonna go a little bit more. Look at that, boom, it's perfect. It's exactly where we need it. We take the grease gun now. Valvoline full synthetic, before you ask, that's what we're running still. Give her a couple pumps, look at that. She fits right in there ever so nicely. We can stick the little rubber cover back on it. I don't know why. Hey, there goes that guy again. I don't know why we put the little cover on it, but we do. It looks good. So let's put the top one back in. Look at that. So hopefully you learned a valuable lesson here, folks. I don't know how much value it had in. Where'd that little wrench go? Here it is. We used pliers before, but hopefully you learn, like if it doesn't line up, try a different grease fitting. Perhaps one that you already have. We'll give that a few pumps. Rubber cap. Just like that. Figuring out where we're at with our tightening sequence here. Just don't want to leave everything loose. Everything, anything, I guess is what the word I was looking for. You don't want to leave anything loose, Eric. Sure on up there? It sure did. We're gonna come back and torque wrench all of this. We're just doing the preliminary, stick it together. Might not show all that on camera, but you gotta trust me. Trust me, he says, huh? Always the wrong way. We got two different size wrenches now. Yes, sir. It looks like we got to have a 7/8 or a 22, as well as a 21. I just wanted to get them like this so I can get a different wrench. Make sure these are still loose before we snug them up. It really doesn't matter because my guy Josh is just gonna loosen them back up anyways. But we'll set her down and get it close. Not close to alignment, just keep the bushing from getting all wadded up in there. If you notice, like when we unhooked it, how this front control arm really wanted to just spring up. And that's because the bushings still had some torque on them. Okay. Whatever way you think the ratchet wrench goes, flip it over. So this is how you make your camber caster adjustment. I don't know if any of you guys watched that video we did on that old Mustang. That one you had to do with shims, which essentially do the same thing as what these eccentric cams do, you know. So as we move both of them in or out, it changes the camber. And if we move one, you know, in and out opposite, it changes the caster angle. So that's that. We'll get this all moving free for our guy Josh. The other side though, don't have a prayer. Oh, we're running low. There's that. We'll just set them about in the middle. And let's finish putting the brakes together, torque the axle, and then we'll tighten those up. We're gonna put a little of that on there. We'll put this on here. Looks good. Stick the bracket on here. Its pads are nice and free still. About half wore out, roughly. Maybe just under half, but pretty close. Oh, what do we have over here? That's what we used. It's like this socket will fit. There's that. Put our caliper back over. Pins are freed up. Man, we are so behind. So behind. You guys still in the frame, are you? Everybody still with me? Anybody watching at this point? Torque setting 1. There it is. 33 foot-pounds or so. Thereabouts. But we're gonna come back, like I say, torque it all. So now that we have some weight on it, my guy Josh is going to have all this loose again anyways. So we'll just snug them up here.
Did you find a different option on the tires?
Yeah, I did. Some of those, some BF Goodrich's that I have pulled up there. I don't know if they're on my screen or not. Is that him on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll talk to him. Alright, so we got those snugged. Let's raise her back up. Oh, well, a little bit over. Not by much though. 11 pounds. I think that's it, folks. Everything's tight. Upper ball joint, lower ball joint. Got our wired harness back in. Those are tight. That's tight. Caliper's tight. I think all we have to do is give a little shot of goo in the outer tie rod end. Give that a couple little pumps there. Throw our tire on. We'll send this one over to Josh, folks. I think we're DUN done. And I think we're going to leave this one at that, folks. I'm not so certain that this video is going to fit together very well. I've been pulled off this job about a half a dozen times already. So I'm hoping that it will all fit together when I go home and put it together. So I'm going to wait for Josh to get the rack open. We'll send it over to him. We'll get this thing lined up the best that we can. If that side over there doesn't come loose, well, we'll give the customer a choice. We'll, you know, get the cross camber, cross caster set as good as it can. It looks like the tires are wearing pretty decent on it, so hopefully that side's really close. But if not, and we can't get them loose, it may entail replacing the upper control arm on that side, depending on if we can, you know, air hammer the bolts loose and this, that, and the other thing. I don't want to go over there and start making a mountain out of a molehill until we know how it's sitting. If it's sitting dead on, perfect. If not, well, we'll do what we got to do. And I want you guys to do what you got to do right down in that comment section. Give me the questions, the comments, give me all the concerns you have. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.